In this tutorial, I want to show you how to accept donations in your WordPress or Elementor website. And without any doubt, the most amazing tool when it comes to collecting donations in WordPress is GiveWP. And the good thing is that they have a free version and a pro version. And as well, in the pro version, there are several add-ons that you can add to your WordPress website to even enhance the functionality of your donation website. And in this tutorial, I want to show you how to make good use of the free plugin in the WordPress repository, how to create forms, accepting different payment methods, and a lot more. Let's get started. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hamza. Now let's get started how we can set up a donation website, or basically adding a donation option or a donation page on your WordPress website. So to do that, we will be adding a new plugin called GiveWP. So by going to plugins inside your plugins repository, add a new plugin and say GiveWP or search for GiveWP. Once it shows up over here, install it and have it activated. I have it already installed and activated. By installing it and activating, you realize that you'll have a set of new pages that have been added to your WordPress website. Now, when you look over here in the WordPress menu, you realize that you have a new option from GiveWP, and this reads as donations. And let's go straight to the settings. Under the setting options, there are a couple of things that we have to do. For example, like setting up the successful donation page. Once someone has successfully made a donation, they'll be redirected to this page. This is one of the pages that have been imported in your WordPress website. Once a client fails to make a donation, maybe because of a payment error or some issues regarding the payment processor, they'll be redirected to this page. And then you also have a new option to select a donor dashboard. For example, if you have donors or recurring donors that would like to check up how often they've been donating, or basically to see how their account looks like when it comes to donating on your website, they'll be having access to the donor dashboard once they log in. So you can always come over here and select that page and make sure that it is set up to the donor dashboard, or else you can easily create a new page and design it the way you want and use this shortcode called Give Donor Dashboard. So by default, most of the settings in the GiveWP plugin, once installed, look good unless you really want to make some really unique changes for your donation website. However, in this video, I want to take you through some of the most vital ones that you should make sure that you check out and have them fixed. For example, setting up the best country for where your website operates from, so that way you are able to come over here and select the country. For my case, I have Uganda, and the best state is Karamoja region. And you can simply type in the state or the province right over here. So once there you're done, you have to come over here to the currency option, set that up as you want it to be. Let's go to access control. Here you can limit how long a session will take once a client or a donor initiates a donation. In this case, I set it to be 1 week, but in this case, you can as well set up to be 24 hours or this other option. So when you go over here to the sequential ordering, you can enable the next donation number. And this is the number that is going to be used to generate the next donation ID, or a unique number you want to assign to your donations. You can set it up right over here. So let's go to the payment gateways. So the payment gateways are ways you are able to receive donations on your website, and by default GiveWP gives you two major options, in fact three major options, that is Stripe, PayPal, and offline donations. So by offline donations, that means that someone will come to your website, initiate a donation, get the details of the donation, go to the bank, and then they will be able to send money to your bank account or write you a check. And later when you come into the donations and confirm that the offline donation has been made, then you will be able to come over here to donations. And for example, this was an offline donation, so it is pending, but once that client has fully paid up the donation, you can simply just say edit, and then say, instead of pending, complete. That means that the client has now completed making the donation as they promised on your website. And we're back to the settings, payment gateway. So here we can say Stripe. Once you select the Stripe option, then you'll be able to connect your website to your Stripe account, where you'll be receiving the donations once they are made. The same for PayPal, the best account for your PayPal account. Then you click over here to connect to your PayPal account, and at the same time make sure that you indicate that these are going to be donations. For the offline donations, like I had earlier mentioned, you have to add the details over right here on how they should write the check details. For example, the site name, who the check is payable to, that you'll be writing an address to this company or this website that is collecting donations. All right, now let's go to the default settings. Here you can enable some form fields, for example, the name and title, prefixes, and you can as well make them optional. In this case, I added Mr., Mrs., and Miss, but if you don't want any of those, you can simply delete them. But by clicking over here, it gives you the option to actually select the title, prefixes. And then you can enable that some of the fields that are going to be on your donation forms are either optional, required, or basically disable most of them. So for the rest of the settings, all look fine unless you really want to make some specific editings, for example in your terms and conditions especially. Let's go to the emails option. So these are the emails that will be sent between you and your donor. So for example, for the donor emails, these are the kind of emails that they'll be receiving, and you can edit the emails by clicking over here on the gear icon. Under the admin emails, these are the emails that you'll be receiving you as an admin, and this is the email where those emails will be sent. And you can as well make edits on those email templates. If you want a specific tutorial on how to make these email edits in GiveWP, let me know down in the comment box below. Otherwise, this tutorial will turn out to be a long video for you. So anyway, going to the email settings, here you can choose to use the default templates or no template, and you only send out plain text emails. You can choose a logo for your website, the site name over here, and the from email. Under the contact information, this is the contact information for the people who are going to be mailing you the checks, so make sure that you include the right information over right here. The other thing I should not forget reminding you is the saving the changes on all these other options whenever you adjust anything. Going to the advanced option, all here looks good, but you should come over here to the script loading location so that you select that your scripts are loading from the footer. You want to limit how much execution of scripts in the header that are running on your website, because then they would be affecting the performance or the speed of your website. Anyway, the rest looks good over here. Make sure that you save the changes. And now let's go and look into the donation form. So when we come over here to all forms, you'll see all the forms that I have already created on this website. And to create a new form, you simply say add a new form, and you'll give this form a name. For example, once you give it a name, you can choose how your form will be. For example, a multi-step form, a classic form, or a legacy form. And for example, if you choose the multi-step form, you'll be able to select the color of the form and all these other settings. But in this case, I have already created a couple of forms. So this is the one form that I created, and I'm going to take you through how I created it. And for example, if someone comes to this form and they want to make a donation, for example, if they say donate now to a cause called Save Karamoja, so there they will be able to select an amount that they want to donate, or in case if they want a custom amount, they can simply enter it in over here and then say continue, add their first name. The company name option is optional, so I can skip it. Then over here I can add my email, and I can select that I want this donation to be anonymous. I'm going to show you how you can set this up for your WordPress website as well. And I can select that I want to leave a comment. So this donor is asking that the company should let them know if this campaign is successful or not. Maybe he would be able to add some extra cash. So in this case, I'm testing this donation, and so I'll say agree to the terms. And the donation summary over here, it's a one-time donation over $100, so I say donate now, and there my donation runs. And a big thank you, I have now made a donation, and here is the donation summary. Now let's go and look into the donations part. So let me go to donations. Now you see that we have a new donation which happened today, over $100 from this person. And let's see what this person said. View donation. So here is the custom text from the donor. All right, so they donated that amount. And when you come over here to the reports, you can see how the performance of your campaigns have been when it comes to collecting the donations. So all the reports will be generated and displayed over right there. So anyway, now let's go back to our form, because I wanted now to show you exactly, for example, that form that we used to make a donation, this over here, how you can set it up. So coming over here to the form, and we have, for example, different kinds of forms. So I have this donation form, which is 19, and that is the donation form which was displayed over here. So I'll take you through. It's a multi-step form, and this is the primary color that we chose for our donation form. And if you choose that you want a multi-step form, it will have different steps, and that is how it would look like. We chose that we'll be using the system font and all these other settings. So you can set up a custom donation headline over here and a description for your campaign. You can add an image, coming over here to the donation options and choosing that someone has the options to add a level of donation. For example, when you look over here, you see that we have these levels. So someone can just click over here to select $10, click over here to select $50, or make a custom amount. You can add extra donation levels by coming over here to the donation level and say add another. And here I can want to add a donation level of $100, and that's it. So now I'll update. Once I update, I come over here to my form. I'm going to reload. Now we will be able to see that we have a new donation level of $100. So the other two vital options I had to mention, one is the limit of the donation. The minimum amount to be donated is $5. So if, for example, you set a donation, that means that by default, everyone will be donating this figure that you enter over right here. However, if you have the custom amount enabled, it means that still people will be able to donate a custom amount that they want, but without the donation levels. So for example, when I update here and come over here to our page, you see that now we have only a donation amount, and by default it is $10, and we don't have the donation levels. But if we disable the option here of a custom amount, that means that whoever donor wants to donate, they should be able to donate $10 without having to change anything. Great. Now let's go into the donation form field. So here is where you can make options required or optional or disabled. So for example, the title prefix, the company donations, last name and first name. When someone is making the donations, anonymous donations, you can enable them that when someone makes a donation, they're able to hide their identity on the website. You can enable donor comments, like I showed you earlier in the tutorial, whereby I am able to add a custom comment when I'm making the donations. You can enable guest donations. By guest donations, it means that your donors don't have to log into your website to be able to make donations, which I highly advise, because hey, if I want to donate on your website one time, I don't need now to first again to register an account and all that stuff. And down to the donation goal, you can set a donation goal, or you can disable that. For example, when I disable that here, I have a goal of $10,000. Now I have disabled that. That means that I will only have to ask for donations, and everyone is supposed to donate $10 mandatory. Anyway, that's not what I want. I want to have a donation goal, and it's a goal of $10,000 or the amount. And you can enable a custom color for the donation progress bar. That is what appears over right here. Update this page. This progress bar will be in red once your donations start coming in, and that is the color that you are setting right over here. Now down here to the donations terms and conditions. Over here you can set the global option for the terms and conditions, or disable the terms and conditions on checkout. So for the offline forms, you can use the global option since you have already entered the information to be displayed for the offline donors, or you can use the custom or the customize option to make again custom features set up over right here. For the email confirmations, you can further customize your donation emails, donation receipts. You can choose between global options or a custom feature that you set up over right here. I would prefer to use the global feature because that you already have set up in here under settings options. Come to emails, for example, donation receipts, and if I preview for you this, that is how it would look like, a receipt to the donor once they make the donation. So admin emails, these are the emails that you receive as an administrator once a new donation comes in. And for example, this is how the template would look like when a new donation comes in. Once you are done creating your forms, now the question is, how do you add your forms to your WordPress website? So in this case, there is an option to choose or to select a shortcode. So you come over here, select a shortcode for your form, and then go to a page or open up a page in WordPress. And in this case, I have already added a heading and also added a block. So this block is having an image, and I've added some widgets within the block, and I added my shortcode. So this is the shortcode over here, and that's how I am able to display this kind of form. We have created it in GiveWP in the form creator, then added a new page, added our shortcode, and we are able to display this form on our website where people can easily just go straight and make their donations and choose between the payment modes. So in this case, I have PayPal, offline donations, and test donations enabled. So if, for example, I say donate with PayPal, someone has to agree to the terms, and then they'll be redirected to the PayPal checkout. But in this case, I haven't integrated PayPal on this platform. I'm basically having the test mode enabled. So the other question is, if you don't want to use Gutenberg to display donation forms, so in the case whereby you're having a website running Elementor and you want to display donation forms in a certain way with a certain styling that is matching your website. So I went down to Figma and I created a donation form, and I basically wanted to recreate this using Elementor. In this case, you have now to get a new other plugin, which is also a GiveWP plugin called GiveWP donation widgets for Elementor. So what I did was now to go back to plugin area. So plugins, install this plugin and then activate it. So now I have already recreated this kind of form from Figma. So the question is, how do you add this kind of widgets and where do you find them? So for example, when you come over here to the widgets area, you have a new section called GiveWP. So you have all these donation widgets. And in this case, I used only one donation widget called the give form. And this give form, all I had to do is to enter in the form ID. So the form ID is the ID or the form that I created over here. So when I come to donations, all forms, so I created a special form, which is this 38. So that is the donation form ID. So I come over here to Elementor, then I simply just enter that form ID. And here I can choose either to show or hide the form title. So I don't want to show the form title. I can show the goal of the form, or I can simply hide it. And here I can choose a mode. So for example, reveal display style. So I can say either show a full form. This will display all the form information, including the payment modes and the personal info someone has to add before they make the donation. But I chose the model reveal, and that's it. But you have a whole bunch of widgets that you can add to Elementor and basically build up a custom donation page using GiveWP Elementor widgets. Further on, you can style up these using custom CSS for Elementor to have something that looks just like this, so that it matches out the design and layout of your Elementor website. One other thing I have to mention is that you can make these donations to be recurring donations. So the question is, how do you make that your donors are able to pay recurring donations? And that is where now you need to invest a little bit of some money to get an add-on from GiveWP that will enable you to collect recurring donations. And this can be weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually. And that add-on can be bought as a standalone add-on for $149 per year, or you can get a pack from the GiveWP pricing packages over right here. And these will include, for example, for the basic plan, you have all the basic add-ons, the license for one website, and then also priority support. The list of the basic add-ons, for example, you have the PDF receipts. So these are PDFs you can email to your clients. So you have a lot more other options for the payment gateways. But if you're getting the agency plan, then you have a lot more other add-ons, including the premium add-ons, which is a list here. For example, the premium add-ons include recurring donations, form field manager, fee recovery, and all these other add-ons. So meaning that if you want to get recurring donations, you can either buy just the standalone add-on, or you can buy a plus plan because the plus plan has all the premium add-ons, a pro plan, or an agency plan. Anyway, I hope this summarizes up all your needs and questions regarding collecting donations on your WordPress website. And if you want me to create a specific tutorial on how to collect recurring donations or a specific feature from GiveWP, let me know down in the comment box of this video. Have a good time and goodbye.